What up, what up, what up, what up? It's me, L Teddy 27.
What's good? It's like right about the hood.
Oh, dear God, I'm already eating a drink.
Look a damn mess. Just a damn mess. No means no, and yes means no. I'm finna tell how we separated. I'm about to tell about that pimple and mole you got on the inside of your butthole that get on my nerves. I'm finna tell about how you got this fetish of where you like me to rub my nuts on your face. I'm about to tell about how, girl, I'm about to tell it all. What up, 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 what's good, people? What's up? It's me, I'm L Teddy, and I'm back. I'm L Teddy 27. Not L Teddy. Well, I'm back. I guess I'm L Teddy and L Teddy 27. Whoever I am is around me somewhere. And I'm back for another review. This is yet another review for The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. It is season 1. It is episode 2. Shout out to all my Deuce Clubs out there. It is entitled A Snow Mountain of Trouble. I really thought they should have entitled it Dismissive as Fuck, because that's what these chicks were all episode. Let's start right off. We still at Meredith's birthday party. Jen's party that she's throwing to her house for herself. And so, if you recall last episode, they ended with Jen and Mary having this conversation about the whole hospital smell, Jen's aunt having her legs amputated, this, that, and the third. And she ran into the bathroom. I think Heather and Whitney ran behind her, and they were, just trying to check up on her and make sure she was okay. Child. When Jen said about Mary, when Jen said she need to go scrub her ass or scrub her body with that loofah dress she got on, I hollered. Listen, I ceremoniously ascended on a chariot of gold in a cloud of fire to the pearly gates where St. Peter was waiting for me. Said, "Hey, girl, hey," as I entered into heaven, because I promised you I had given up the ghost and going on to glory. Child, because they paneled back to show you Mary sitting there on the lookout, and she looked like a whole ass loofah sponge. I said, "Bitch." Ooh, that tickled me. That was so funny. Anyway, so production must have went up to Mary and said, "Hey, girl, you need to go on in there. We need more drama going on in there, and bombard Jen with your level brand of fuckery." And so she took her ass on in there where Jen was and started to talk to Jen about it. Mary was really quite dismissive of Jen's feelings. And that's why I say this whole episode, people are just so dismissive of other people and their feelings. So, I promise you. Ooh, it was so funny. Anyway, but there was this back and forth. And while I can't stand Mary, after a while of this whole conversation, because Jen is just so out of control, so over the top. I mean, her whole life is hyperbolic, okay? She lives her life as a hyperbole. You understand me? So I was sitting there after a while like, okay, y'all having a whole ass argument about hospital smell. Girl, get over it. I just was at that point. I was like, we're not finna do this about the hospital smell. If you're gonna be mad at her, Jen, just be mad at her. If you're gonna, cause at one point Mary was just like, girl, I'm sorry, whatever. Come on, we'll hug it out, whatever. It's over. And so I was like, okay, I'm glad, because I didn't want to hear no more about this hospital smell. Anyway, I mean, the argument did look stupid. But anyway, so Whitney asked, as the party went on, Whitney goes and talks to Lisa. So we come to find out when Whitney had her vow renewal, Lisa, she had talked to Lisa about, doing some alcohol donations or whatever. If she was, send some alcohol, her way. Bitch, you always bragging about owning how many brands of alcohol. Girl, you could spare a few cases. So she did. But anyway, she went ahead. Not only did she send the liquor, but she also sent bartenders. Now, it's one thing if you send the liquor, that's different. But once you send bartenders, actual people to serve it, representing your brand or your company, then they are a direct representation of you, your company, and your brand. So when Whitney began to talk about how these bartenders were drinking on the job and taking shots and breaking up her glasses and furniture and stuff like that, and Lisa was like, girl, what are you mad about? I really don't care. Girl, I sent it over there. You should just be happy that I sent this stuff over there. I don't care about all that you got going on. And I look like If I was Whitney, I would have been like, girl, I know you the fuck lying. Because see, what's about to happen is you about to run me my coins for my doggone glasses and the shit that these two was broke in my goddamn house. See, Lisa went into, listen, let me tell y'all who Lisa is. Lisa is on the board of directors of the Karen's Coalition because all her Karenness came out this episode. Do you hear me? Board of directors of the Karen's Coalition. Throughout this episode, you see it because basically what she said is, "Girl, it's not my problem that they broke your shit, and don't bother me about it." Now, if I'm not mistaken, when a bitch get a liquor when you get a liquor license, you have a mountain of liability and responsibilities that go with that. So much so, like if you own a bar and you have a liquor license and somebody drinks, has a drink at your bar and they leave there, get in their car, run into somebody, and it comes to find out that they had alcohol in that system, that bar is just as liable, and that person can get their liquor license snatched. At least that's how it is in Florida. I don't know, maybe the rules are different in Utah, but I know in Florida that's how it is. So when you have a liquor license and you are out there and your brand is being represented and so forth like that, you got to do right by it. So if you're sending bartenders to these people out, suppose they did break some of this glass and one of the shards of glass, somebody stepped on it and it cut them or something like that, or suppose they did get too drunk and got out of pocket with one of the people that her vow renewal and started, because people like to fight when they get drunk. All kinds of shit could happen. So for you to be as dismissive as you was, Lisa, you got to and she got even worse, but we'll get that later. Whitney problem is, I think Whitney is the youngest of them all, and she just allows these girls to run over her more than she should. And usually it's the opposite. Usually it's the young ones that be the firecrackers that be ready to drag me, that be having all of this energy to be going back and forth. But Whitney is a little too calm for me, a little too calm. Couldn't have been me. Lisa, after she was confronted by Whitney, put on her Karen-ness. Told y'all she's a member of the board of directors of the Karen's Coalition. She put on her Karen-ness, pouted, and said, "Bitch, I ain't got time for this. I don't get confronted, and I don't take accountability for anything that I do. I'm a Karen. And Karens don't take accountability for their fuck shit and fucktitude." And she pouted and stormed off like all Karens do. Anyway, after the party the next day, you see Jen trying to get her house back together before Sharif come home from a recruiting trip. And she had like 8 of her employees, her service, her slaves. They're trying to clean up the house before Sharif got there. Her 2 sons over there laughing in the background. Anyway, Sharif came and was looking at like, now wait a minute, why do you need 8 people here to clean this house if you just had a smaller get together for Meredith's birthday with just the girl? She was like, "Oh, I just needed help." And he looked at her like, I know in his mind he was like, "Bitch, stop fucking lying. Bitch, I know you the fuck lying." Because he know his wife. He know that chick had a whole get together. I'm sure one of them sons had already texted him and told him. Anyway, that was cute. So then we see Heather calls Meredith, and they had this. They were talking, about something or other. But at the end of this conversation, it came out. Heather says, "You know what? We need to have a whole ski trip. It's ski season. It's time, to dust off our skis and snowboards, and let's go ahead and have a girls' ski trip." Great. So Heather says, "I'll plan it all out. We'll go to my ski resort that I frequent and so forth, and we'll get it all. I'll get it all taken care of." Great. Cast a mini trip to the ski lodge. Well, it's not a trip, but cast outing on Heather. Bravo. Anyway, so then we see Lisa. She talks to her husband. So she's sitting there in all her Karenness as a member of the board of directors of the Karen Coalition. In all of her Karenness, complaining to her husband hour on hour with this long ass diatribe that she's having, all about how right she is and how wrong Whitney is. And her husband is sitting there looking like, "Dear God, today, please take me out of my misery, God." But he sat there like a good husband should and listened to all. I mean, I'm sure she was trying to convince him more. So I should say trying to convince herself of how right she was. A mess. So then we see Heather and Meredith. They go shopping. Not Meredith. Heather and Whitney. They go to the this ski shop or whatever, and they go, and get, to dust off their skis, get some new ski boots, wax the snowboard or whatever, and all of that. So I don't know. I'm from Miami. I don't have any clue, any understanding of anything about snow, anything about what it takes to go skiing. I want no parts of going skiing. I want no parts of the snow. Y'all can have it because me and the cold don't do well together. So this was a whole foreign entity to me. I had no idea what this was all about, but they seemed to enjoy it and have a good time while they were there. Whitney starts to tell Heather all about what's been going on with her and Lisa. So come to find out, Not only did Lisa dismiss Whitney in the aftermath when Whitney tried to call her later on after the party about it, this whore had the audacity. So she told Lisa told Whitney, excuse me, that listen, if you try to tarnish anything dealing with my brand or my company or try to say anything negative about us, I'm gonna start putting out the rumors that I heard that you and your husband are swingers. I was like, what? First of all, we haven't even heard these rumors about her husband being swingers. Secondly, bitch, you gotta see. I told y'all this is her Karenness coming out. She's a card carrying member, a member of the board of directors of the Karen's Coalition. Anyway, she threatened Whitney, and Whitney is better than I was. Cause baby, I would have been like, girl, you ain't got to put it out there. I'll do it for you. We're not swingers, but I'll go ahead and put it out there for you. So you ain't got nothing to hold over my head, boo. And as a matter of fact, let me go on every piece of social media I can to tell people how horrible you and your business are. And she did the right thing too. Now I'll give you your G's for this, Whitney. This is why you take every moment you can while you're on this public platform that's being broadcast all over the fruited plains to tell people all about how horrible her tequila brand is. She even threw a little jab in there where she said, girl, your tequila was there, but girl, I don't drink that shit. I got my own good tequila in the background. I just had that because you gave it to me for free. I don't drink that shit. I was like, Whitney, girl, Whitney. It was funny to me. Anyway, so Whitney, we see her at home with her kids. And her dad comes over and we start to, every now and again they try and give us a serious story because Bravo Andy wants you to know this is such a serious business. Anyway, but they try to give us a serious story. Yeah, so we learn about Whitney and her dad and the fact that her dad has an addiction to prescription painkillers, and how it cost him his marriage, and most of the family has really abandoned him, and she's the only member of the family that really has stuck by him and tried to help him through this and really be there for him. And she also went into how in the Mormon faith they do kind of want you to abandon someone like her dad, and because she stuck by her dad and she's not just throwing him away, it has made her really, really, really question her own faith in the Mormon religion and so forth. And she even went into this long thing about when she was young, how she tried to be so perfect and how she tried to do everything that the Mormons wanted her to do, not knowing that they still weren't going to see it for her in the end. Child, y'all better than me. But that's y'all across the bear because I don't deal with nothing dealing with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Anyway, so Meredith goes to dinner with her husband, Seth. So right out the gate, Seth says, well, how many of your friends that you done told that we're separated? Separate. What we need to do. Separate what? Girl. Meredith. You done went on this whole long thing going on and on and on about you and your wonderful children and how great you all are doing and how well off you are and how you have this husband that's back and forth between Chicago and Utah because he's so booked and busy. You all have such a blooming and such a flourishing company. Girl, your husband, like I said last episode, is in Chicago busting down the bus downs. Okay? And I said it last episode. Y'all are separated. Because ain't no husband finna be staying away from his wife that long. And ain't no husband gonna be openly complaining about not getting sex from their wife if they ain't going and getting sex from somebody else. Let's be clear. So when this came out, I was like, that makes sense. You tried to lie. Girl, you tried to lie. And that man put you right out on Front Street. Bitch, we separated. You gonna tell a friend? What he was trying to tell you is, bitch, you need to tell them before I do. Because I ain't finna sit up here in none of these rooms with you and carry on your facade of your lie. Bitch, I'm finna tell. I'm finna tell how we separated. I'm about to tell about that pimple and mole you got on the inside of your butthole that get on my nerves. I'm finna tell about how you got this fetish of where you like me to rub my nuts on your face. I'm about to tell about how, girl, I'm about to tell it all. A mess. Seth wasn't here for it. I was, though. So then they went on and on and on about how, we need to have transparency. And there was this whole long conversation about how I need to be able to check your phone. You need to be able to check my phone. And Seth was like, well, if you won't let me see your phone, and something must be, child, I ain't really care. At the point that I knew she had been lying, girl, I ain't want to hear none of it. What else you lying about, Meredith? What else are you hiding, Meredith? Anyway, so then we down to the ski trip. So Mary claims she was late because she was waiting for her package to come with her name brand outfits. Now, the last time I checked, Mary, real girls do real things. Mary, you know I already don't see it for you. If you truly are ordering name brand, if you are labeled girls, make sure that they go down to the store where they can get said labels. The store where the name of that label is on the outside at the top. Labeled girls don't go on Algo is good internet trying to buy knockoffs down to the Etsy.coms or the eBay.coms where you got to sit at home waiting for the FedEx guy to come through, blow your back out, and then leave the package. Girl, Mary, now I question, somebody really needs to go and check the actual labels of these garments that she is claiming to wear, because I'm just saying some don't sound right about this whole situation. Anyway, it looks like they had a lot of fun on this ski trip. So you had Lisa, Jen, and Mary. They were over there on the little kiddie slopes. Girl, they don't know what they're doing. And so you had Meredith, Heather, and Whitney up there to the big girl slopes, because real girls do real things. Anyway, so while they were up there on the big girl slopes, Whitney talks to Meredith about the situation with Lisa, trying to get some advice on how to deal with Lisa, because she was like, I just don't like how this is going down. So, that's your friend, that's your road dog, that's your cut buddy, and can you help me figure out how to deal with this whore? And so she was like, well, I think you just need to come out and talk to her about it. So later that night, they had dinner. They started off real innocent, Lisa talking about, oh, my dad's doing better, and he's going to go down to Mary's church so that he can be possessed, preyed on by Lisa and her demons, not by Lisa, by Mary and her demon spirit inside of her. Anyway, so then that segued into Whitney confronting Lisa all about her threatening her about calling her a swinger and so forth. And Lisa went straight into Karen mode. Girl, what are you talking about? Girl, I didn't know such thing. I didn't do anything. What are you talking about? If I talk proper and I talk down to you, that makes what I did, what you're saying, untrue, and makes what I said true because of the way that I'm speaking to you. And I'm a Karen, and I'm always right. Girl, if you don't sit your... As much as Lisa got on my nerves, that goddamn Mary was getting on my nerves even more, because she just kept chiming in and butting in. I was like, Mary, this don't even involve you. Girl, shut the fuck up. Girl, what is your point and your purpose? Because Mary just kept having all of these little interjections and shit. Girl, Mary, you don't sit your time. Mary and Lisa taking squatters' rights on my nerves right now. Squatters' rights on my last good nerve. The both of those whores was getting on my nerves. So while Lisa was going off on while Meredith was going off on, not Meredith, Lord, I'm getting the names wrong. While Whitney was going off on Lisa, Heather said, oh girl, you ain't gonna be the only one having fun on this whore today. Heather brought her manly looking ass, her Thanos looking ass. I just was waiting for Meredith to don the glove with the 6 jewel stones so that she could wipe out half of the human population. Because you can't tell me that whore ain't Thanos. Look at her face, dear God. Anyway, she took her opportunity to roll up on Lisa and give her 2 to the head, 3 to the body verbally. And so... they started having a whole argument about a thumbs up. I was like, y'all are not sitting up here having a whole argument. Heather, girl, I love you down. But this argument about a whole thumbs up seemed real trivial. Real trivial. I was like, she eventually started talking about how Lisa called her a get it girl, or whatever they call it, go get them girl, got it girl, whatever the kind of girl it was, where you show your titties everywhere. And she was like, girl, if you claim you don't know me, how the fuck you knew who I showed my titties at school since you ain't know me? Girl, fall the fuck back. She was like, girl, I ain't here for you. Lisa then goes and says, you know what? If you mad about it, whatever, I'm sorry. And it's over with. And we don't need to talk about it no more. No, Lisa, no, bitch. See, that's what you Karens try to do. Y'all become so dismissive of somebody. You just blurt out an apology that you really don't mean, that you're really not genuine about. That's so disingenuous. And you just blurt out, well, I'm sorry. As if that's supposed to just shut the other person up, and as if that's supposed to just make the situation go away, when there truly is no remorse, there is truly no apology given. There's just an attempt to patronize someone, and it comes off being dismissive, off-putting, and more disrespectful than if you had just stood in your shit and said, girl, I did it. If you got a problem, beat my ass. That would have been less disrespectful than what you did. Because basically what she said was, girl, when I apologize, shit shuts down, and I don't give a fuck how you feel, what you got to say, because the situation is over. The conversation is done. That ain't how this works, Lisa. But we already know, I told y'all, it went off from there. It went off from there. Child, I told y'all that woman Lisa is a carrying member of the Karen's Coalition. She is a board member, not only a card carrying member, she's a board member of the Karen's Coalition. Child, it was another good episode. I'm enjoying these chicks. This is one of the few times I get to get in on the show from the beginning, which is probably why I enjoy them. But some of these arguments that they had, it was real trivia. I was like, girl, we're not sitting up there and gonna argue about a thumbs up in a text message. That's what we're not gonna do. Girl, real girls are real things. You don't send a thumbs up. You say, bitch, fuck you, and fuck your life. How about that? Anyway, they showed us the previews for next week's episode, and it looks like it's gonna be a whole hoop. Girl, they have a whole conversations about Grindr. Girl, boom, honey, boom, boom, honey, and we'll be here for it. Until then, y'all, I'll catch y'all next time. Let's get in the comment section and argue about what we saw. That's all I got for y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out.